A new report shows a dramatic spike in the number of homeless people on the subways. And now the MTA trying out a new way to face the growing problem that has no easy answer. CBS 2's Jessica Layton has this.
As more commuters opt for alternative modes of transportation, the New York City Subway, long hailed as an engineering marvel and the heart of the city, is in dire need of repair. However, there has been a dramatic drop in the number of subway riders in recent years, leading many to wonder why people are abandoning the NYC Subway. This deterioration is a complicated problem with many underlying causes. Today we are going to discuss why people are ditching the NYC Subway. Millions of New Yorkers use the underground system, which opened in 1904, to get to work, school, and leisure activities, serving as a historical icon of the city's vibrancy. The number of people using the underground has, however, significantly decreased recently. Instead, many people are choosing alternatives like biking, ride-sharing, or just walking. Concerns about this change in commuting patterns have arisen, and discussions regarding the causes of the exodus from the NYC Underground have resulted. The belief that service is inconsistent is among the most important factors keeping commuters off the NYC Subway. Rider anger has increased because of the frequent failures, delays, and interruptions that have become the norm. Passengers' faith in the system's ability to transport them to their destinations on schedule is damaged by these service interruptions, which inconvenience them while also disrupting their travel plans. An important factor in these problems is the subway's deteriorating infrastructure, much of which is from the early 20th century. The Metropolitan Transportation Authority, MTA, which is in charge of the underground system, has had difficulty keeping up with maintenance and repairs, which has resulted in a vicious cycle of deteriorating service. Riders are more likely to use alternate modes of transportation as a result of delays in crowded trains, which lowers the MTA's fare revenue. Significant investments are required to update the infrastructure of the subway and increase its dependability in order to solve this issue. Ridership is directly impacted by opinions of cleanliness and safety. Concerns regarding safety issues, including a rise in crime and harassment, as well as the hygiene of tube cars and stations, have been expressed by many commuters. Particularly after hours or in less crowded locations, these worries may discourage individuals from using the tube. The MTA has made efforts to raise safety and cleanliness standards, including more policing and cleanliness campaigns. These policies are not without dispute, though. It's a delicate balance to strike between maintaining safety and avoiding biased policing tactics. Even while crime rates do not appear to have increased much, the public's impression of safety can be affected by media coverage, which can amplify worries. Another significant element in the fall of tube usage is the growth of other modes of transportation. In New York City, services including ride-sharing, like Uber and Lyft, bike-sharing, and electric scooters have grown in popularity. Compared to the underground, these alternatives provide more comfort, flexibility, and occasionally even cost savings. More New Yorkers are now choosing to cycle to work thanks to the addition of bike lanes and upgrades to cycling infrastructure. Additionally, electric scooters offer a practical alternative for quick journeys, decreasing the need for the tube for specific kinds of journeys. The COVID-19 epidemic significantly hastened the introduction of telecommuting and remote working practices. When lockdowns and other social segregation measures were implemented, many businesses and organizations that had previously been opposed to remote work were compelled to change. As a result, a sizable section of New York City's workforce can now choose to work from home, which lessens their daily dependency on the subway. Even though not everyone can work remotely, the rising popularity of telecommuting as a job option has altered commuter patterns. Currently, some employees commute less regularly and only use the tube when absolutely essential. If remote labor stays a dominant aspect of the post-pandemic job landscape, this shift may have a long-term effect on tube ridership. The drop in underground ridership in New York City is also influenced by demographic shifts. Some residents are relocating to regions with cheaper cost of living as neighborhoods gentrify and property prices rise. Some New Yorkers are choosing more environmentally friendly modes of transportation as a result of rising environmental consciousness and a desire for healthier living. Alternatives to the subway that are considered more environmentally friendly include biking, walking, and carpooling. Among commuters, the expense of the underground fare has also been a source of dispute. Although having a car in New York City is typically more expensive than using public transportation, low-income individuals and families may find it difficult to afford the cumulative cost of daily or monthly subway passes. Affordability is still a problem for many despite efforts to alleviate it. such as the introduction of subsidized Metro cards for low-income riders. Some commuters may look into less expensive options if they feel that tube fares are excessive, especially in light of service reliability problems. It is now simpler for commuters to research and use alternative transport options thanks to technological advancements and the growth of mobility apps. Real-time information on many forms of transportation, including subways, buses, bikes, and rideshares, is available through apps like Google Maps, Citymapper, and transit-specific apps. Riders are able to make well-informed decisions because of this convenience based on things like trip time, cost, and convenience. Additionally, ride-sharing applications like Uber and Lyft provide ride-hail and carpooling services, intensifying rivalry with the underground. On-demand services are available for commuters, frequently with a better standard of comfort and customization than public transportation can provide. According to a recent Department of Transportation report, some Straffingers have switched from the subway to Uber as a result of the overabundance of for-hire vehicles on the streets of New York City. The majority of users of ride-hailing services claim that they substitute rides from an app for travels on the public transport system. There were 85,200 for-hire vehicle registrations in the city in 2016, an increase of 13,000 from the previous year. This category includes taxis, livery cars, and black cars. Ride-hailing journeys increased from 92.5 million in 2016 to 158 million in 2017, surpassing taxi trips for the first time. Bus ridership fell for the third consecutive year, while the troubled underground system's ridership slightly decreased to roughly 1.75 billion in 2016. Additionally, the average bus speed decreased to a slow 7.44 miles per hour. Approximately 35% of New Yorkers use ride-hailing apps, according to the first citywide mobility survey from last year. According to the report, 50% of them claim to have utilized the services in place of taking public transport, while 43% claim to have done so in place of using a taxi or car service. The information illustrates the size and appeal of the ride-hailing business at a time when City Council members are attempting to curtail its expansion. The City Council is considering many measures, such as a temporary restriction on new licenses for for-hire automobile services, that would more severely oversee Uber and similar businesses. Taxi activists claim that the strain placed on their sector by app-based services has led some cab drivers to commit suicide. Globally speaking, including the NYC Underground, public transit was severely impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Subway usage fell to record lows as lockdowns were implemented and fears about virus spreading increased. Even as regulations loosened, some people continued to be leery of confined, congested areas like subway cars. The pandemic also revealed flaws in public transit networks, raising concerns about hygienic conditions, ventilation, and the risk of disease spread. Despite the MTA putting in place a number of safety precautions, such as mask requirements and greater cleanliness efforts, these worries persisted and may have led some passengers to avoid the underground. There are several interrelated elements at play in the complex issue of the declining NYC Subway ridership. Although worries about the quality of the service and cleanliness have long been significant difficulties, more recent events, such as the growth of alternate modes of transportation, adjustments to work schedules, and the long-lasting effects of the COVID-19 outbreak, have made the problems the underground system faces much more severe. It will take a broad strategy to address these problems, including considerable infrastructure investments, service quality enhancements, steps to increase accessibility, and improvements to safety and hygiene. To stay competitive and relevant, transit agencies must also make adjustments for shifting commuter habits and advancing technology. The ability of the NYC subway system to overcome these obstacles and win back its users' trust and patronage will determine how successful it is going forward. It continues to be a crucial part of New York City's transport system, and it must change to meet the demands of a dynamic, ever-changing urban environment. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, press the bell icon to get notified of our upcoming videos. Let us know your opinion in the comment section below.